Welcome to KPC, Kunzang Peyo Choling, here Sunday morning. Before we begin, let's take a minute to remember our motivation for being here today, for doing this meditation together. We really want to create a compassionate intention that whatever we learn here today or whatever virtue we generate by doing meditation, that we offer that for the sake of all sentient beings. So our meditation is really or our motivation is really important before we do any sort of meditation or listen to a dharma talk or do a group practice like what was happening in here earlier today. um, our motivation determines the direction of our actions. So let's just take a minute to think about, again, our motivation and intention for being here today and establish that in our minds. All right, so on the front of your sheet here, and I'll put it up on the screen, we'll do the 7-line prayer together to open. We'll do it 3 times. Organ yugi nucham sam pemage sardom pola yasam shogi no drumne pemajung ne sesudra koru kandro mampokor keki jesu dag drupki jinjilop shir sheksu sol Guru Pema Siddhi Hum Organ Yugi Nucham Sam Pema Ge Sardom Bola Yasan Chogi No Drumne Pema Jung Ne Shesudra Kodu Kandrom Mampokor Keki Jesu Dag Drupki Jinjilop Shir Sheksu Sol Guru Pema Siddhi Hum Organ Yugi Nucham Sam Pema Ge Sardom Pola Yasan Chogi No Drumne Pema Jung Ne Shesudra Kodu Kandro Mampokor Keki Jesu Dag Drupki Chinjilop Shir Sheksu Sol Guru Pema Siddhi Hum. So the meditation that we are doing today is called Shamatha meditation. Another name, stabilizing the mind. That's what we'll be focusing on today. And it's as taught by Jetsama, our teacher, in her book, Stabilizing the Mind. So what is meditation before we begin? Meditation is the natural state of our mind when it's relaxed and stable and open, which can be hard to come by these days. Meditation trains our mind to be calm and relaxed, yet alert and wakeful. And the whole point of meditation, and we say this every week, the whole point of meditation is to create more spaciousness in our mind. So again, we might hear meditation as a buzzword in the wellness community. We might hear it in the medical community because it helps relax you or lower your blood pressure or make you feel really good. But that's not the point of meditation. That's not the purpose of meditation. It's much deeper than that. When we have spaciousness in our mind, we can handle whatever life throws at us. We can greet it with more spaciousness, stability of mind, in a way that we can pause and create that buffer between our actions and our reactions, or when our emotions flare up and our mind becomes very inflamed. Meditation has a cooling effect. It creates that, it helps that inflammation and busyness subside. So it's so important in our modern lives to use meditation in a consistent way. It's not something that you might feel the benefits of it after one meditation session, yes. But it's really the long term benefits of meditation. That's really where um, the benefits come into play, because we can see over time how um, our mind becomes less reactive. And we think of all the ways that the demands of modern life, our to-do list, our ever never-ending to-do list, and meditation is really a time to rest our mind, um, and so we can have gratitude for that. In the theme of gratitude this week with Thanksgiving and everything, we can have gratitude for having that moment to just rest the mind. And it's really a gift, and it's something that's always with you. It's something you can always tap into. You can always tap into that mindfulness and spaciousness of mind. So in Buddhism, it's very important because it's the first step in developing bodhicitta. So again, that compassionate wish to free all beings from suffering. So if our mind's crazy and all over the place and busy and not thinking of others, not thinking of other beings, how can we bring any benefit when we don't have spaciousness in our mind? So either if you're on the floor or in a chair, that's fine. So we just want to take a comfortable seat, a relaxed posture. Your spine's going to be straight. So that's just the most important thing. Wherever you're sitting, the spine is straight. And we're going to keep our eyes open, but relaxed. We're not staring intently at the floor or like a little piece of, like, I'm seeing a little piece of dirt or something on the floor. I'm like, not staring intently at that. We're relaxing our gaze, almost like we're drawing a line to the bridge of our nose to the floor, and picking a point on that line to rest our gaze. And then we'll put the tip of our tongue on the back of our teeth, almost like we're making the sound L. And that your tongue rests there in a relaxed way so that it keeps the mouth slightly open. So we're also breathing through the mouth. And we're going to breathe as naturally as possible. It might take a few deep breaths to get to that steady, natural breath. That's fine. You can take a few deep breaths. And today, our focus, where our mind will rest, will be on the breath. So sometimes, in some meditation, we might focus on let's say a statue or a flower or a candle flame. But today we're going to just keep bringing our attention back to the breath. So every time we get distracted, we think of other things, we just gently bring our attention back to the breath. We're not scolding ourselves. We're not judging ourselves. We're not saying, oh, I'm horrible at this. We're just dropping it and bringing our attention back to the breath. So your attention is like a feather gently riding the surface of the breath. So it's not a heavy attention, but a very subtle attention. So we're not, thinking inhale, exhale, which is a very light attention. So, as our thoughts arise, like a bubble rising to the surface of the pond, we just let those thoughts pop, let them go. Our meditation isn't lost by having thoughts. You're not doing a bad job by having thoughts. It's when we go down the road with them and we let it multiply into other thoughts. So again, just drop the thought. If we have a really difficult time, we can imagine cutting the thought or tossing the thought out. So, with that, let's start. We're going to do a few um, sessions together. I'm just going to get my timer out. Here we go. So, we'll start with 5 minutes. But if you are new to meditation, um, on your own time, you can start with 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. Really, it's about building kind of your endurance with this. It's not recommended to jump into the deep end and do a 45-minute meditation if you're a beginner. We're slowly building this habit of our mind, the spaciousness of our mind. So we start where we are. We start where we're at. So we'll start with 5 minutes and then we'll increase our time and then we'll do a shorter session. All right, so 5 minutes starting now. And also, too, one thing I didn't mention, we're either having our hands on our thighs here, or the traditional way would be a right hand over the left with our thumbs touching in our lap. So with our shoulders and elbows back. All right. If you want to stretch or get a drink of water before we start the second one. So we're going to, again, do the same thing, but we'll just increase our time together. All right. And you may notice between each session that we do that your attention and focus might be vastly different from one time of meditating to another. So in Buddhism, we talk about non-attachment. So this is, again, another example that we can practice non-attachment, because whatever our result is, let's say we feel, so blissful after our meditation, or we think, wow, well, that was pretty bad because I was so distracted. It's really not, the goal is not the outcome that we feel after meditation. The goal is to show up consistently to do this and see the benefits of that spaciousness of our mind over time. So try not to be attached with how you feel. Instead, just show up again the next day and do it again. And, the teachers will tell you too, it's not, the whole point, again, is not to feel so, I feel so good. Yeah, that might be a side effect of meditation, is you feel more relaxed. And but again, seeing the larger purpose of this and having that in our mind. So however we show up, however it goes, we just show up again and do it again and again until this becomes just the state of our mind, spacious and stable. So we will do increase our time starting now. So we'll do one more shorter session to finish. And if you're looking for resources throughout the week, if you want to continue, and those of you who are streaming online, you can always go to our YouTube page, Kunzang Peo Choling, and we have a meditation playlist that has many teachings, techniques, other types of meditations, so that can help guide you throughout the week. And so, before we do this last one, just want to mention, with the holidays coming up, whether you, however you, if you don't celebrate the holidays or if you celebrate the holidays culturally or whatnot, there's the theme of gift giving. So I challenge you this holiday season to give the gift of meditation to yourself. And in turn, you're giving that gift to others because you're showing up in a more open, less reactive way. So, whatever interactions or communication you have, or whoever you see, friends or family, you can be there with a more relaxed and open and spacious mind. And so, it really is a gift for yourself that keeps giving to others. And in that way, we can move through this time in a spacious and open, in generous way. So, with that, let's do another shorter. We'll do another 5 minutes together, and then we'll finish with the dedication prayers, which is on the back side of the sheet, and I'll put that on the screen later. So let's do 5 more minutes, again, returning again and again to our breath. So now we will, seal in the blessing and the virtue of all doing this practice together, whether you're here in person or online. We have created that virtue together, so we will dedicate it to all the liberation of all sentient beings. And I'll put the dedications on the screen. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I've accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, similarly I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. Oops, there we go. So thank you so much for being here, for sticking around today. So nice to have everyone in the room. And thank you so much for everyone who joined online. And we do this every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And again, there's resources for you throughout the week at our on our YouTube page, Kunzang Peyo Choling, a meditation playlist there. So hope that you join us again. And I'm going to log